In the US, we have 22 vets killing themselves every day. The suicide rate, the homelessness rate, the addiction rate. Veterans, by and large, statistically, we're in the wrong direction in every category that you can imagine. And I think we can break that cycle if we begin actually communicating. We can stop a lot of death here if we just talk to each other. But it turns out trauma robs us of that ability to do so.
When I first ever started working with veterans with Shakespeare, they came because they were curious. It was just complete transformation. Learning a fabulous art of Shakespeare, owning it, getting cocky with it. And that's where I thought, wow, I'm a soccer guy, a typical British kid. Shakespeare, we don't do Shakespeare. Oh, I've got my Shakespeare books over there now, and I've got my Shakespeare's bust. Completely changed my life. Are you seeing that as well, mate?
Absolutely. Keep in mind, I also work in jails, prisons, and addiction centers. So in those cases, I'm going to them. Outside those environments, they're coming to me. In order to survive trauma, you have to be extremely creative. I'm meeting artists. Now, the art has nearly been crushed out of them, or at least it's not been rewarded and reinforced. But we know they're creative because they survived. And then in the treatment center, they got into our program and they said, okay, go to jail or do Shakespeare. Some choose the other. This guy showed up and he sits like this, all shut down, hat, sunglasses. We greeted him with affection, checked in with him, and then continued on. And finally, about the third or fourth class, he admitted he came in his own words, to sabotage the class. Well, then class was over, and I decided, well, next week I'm going to sabotage it. I had him doing Shakespeare, and he's like, damn it, this makes sense. This is working.
When Shaun took me down to the Globe, I discovered in Titus Andronicus a space for veterans' experience. And then I started looking at more Shakespeare, and I went, Jesus, there's miles and miles of this stuff about us. Yeah. And it's legitimate. If Shakespeare wrote that, and he's the bard of the whole of England and the Western world, and I felt like, yeah, okay, I'm as intelligent as anybody else now.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's reclaiming it. They're told these things. You're not smart. You have a bad voice. You're not good at speaking. You're not good at reading. All this shit. My wife calls it the shitty committee.
When I've worked with whole veteran cast, it's so different to a civvy cast. It's probably because we're still thinking for each other. You don't find that anywhere else, man. I think that's quite unique. And then the confidence afterwards when the blokes are finished, you know, they're all, right, that's it, I'm off to Hollywood.
Right. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience to be back in a team again where, you know, everything you do is going to affect the guys around you, to give other people a chance to do their bit. And now I realise what I was going through when I came out of the forces. It was like falling off an ocean liner. I was at sea. I was sinking. Right. I grabbed onto anything. It happened to be drugs and alcohol, you know.
That's why, Taff, we've got the likes of the Soldiers Arts Academy. Working with your guys at DE-CRUIT, what's the aim, Stefan? What's the aim once they finish that program, brother?
One of the things we realized very quickly was we didn't want to redo what the military did, which is get everyone together, work really intensely, and then see ya, good luck. Where we're working is with people working their way out of incarceration or addiction centers. Quite literally, not using and not killing themselves is our goal. Everything after that is gravy. Do we have veterans that have gone from homeless to law school? Absolutely. Veterans going from, you know, incarcerated to becoming actors? Yes, that as well. But the majority are quietly working next to you in a cubicle and really struggling. You know, the military had a binary, right? The go, no-go system, friend or foe. This theater world, the arts live in the middle. The vets in the room, when they show up and they went through hell in their mind just to get to class, and I hand them Hamlet to speak these lines, there's no bullshit happening. This is a real person struggling with real issues in front of us, looking us in the eye and saying, yeah, I struggle every damn day just to move the needle. I struggle every damn day to not kill myself or not use. That's why it's authentic. And then you get in a room with other people who are going, yep, I got you. I know what that's like too. And I've got your back. Veterans have taught me more about Shakespeare than any instructor. Than any classical actor training, than any of it. I do the old, you know, what's your objective? Where are you going? A guy came in and was playing bankball. And I said, all right, where are you going? He goes, I'm going to kill the king. Oh, I've done the play 8 times. I've never heard that. It's brilliant, deeply thought, deeply personal experiences.
Very fortunate to play Richard III. Played in with a theatre company called the Combat Veteran Players. I was a young soldier in West Belfast. That's where it was coming from. And the guys around me were the boys on patrol. That's what made it fantastic.
This bond that soldiers have, even from the other side, is so strong. And we see it on stage. To see you as Richard III would bring an entirely different component.
Oh, mate.
I think there's certain lines I found in Shakespeare which triggered off all sorts of stuff. And I realised that I'd been freezing my memories because I'd frozen them. All the memories around it got frozen as well. So all the good stuff, the compassion of being with actors who are emoting, you know the way they go. They cry and they emote and they do everything. Yeah. Shit, there's so much emotion going around here. I better get some of my own going. And then I go, oh, memories. And I went, hang on, those were good times as well.
Yes. It's just like Shakespeare's characters, right? They're both. Like Richard says, you know, I'm a villain, yet I'm not. And he allows us to fully be both. I get to perform Shakespeare the way I hear and view Shakespeare. And yet, it's terrifying because I'm about to share my own story. So what it's like is the best medicine I've ever received in my life.